They're spooky, they're silly, and they're handmade. Let me show you how I make my Halloween ornaments. These are circular, clear acrylic ornaments, so I always start by cleaning them off with a microfiber cloth. This cleans off any dust, smears, or fingerprints, and it gives me a nice, clean surface to work with. To streamline my ornament making process, I make a series of tracers. Because these ornaments are clear, then I just have to lay the ornament on top of the tracer and then I can see right through it and I can just trace right over top. I'm using an oil-based Sharpie with an extra fine point. These oil-based paint pens are more resistant to scratches and smudges, so this is going to make the writing on the ornaments as durable as possible. When I originally had an idea to make other seasonal ornaments, I knew that I didn't want to go with like the typical happy Halloween vibe. I think Boo Bitch is perfectly spooky and sarcastic. I also came up with Spooky Season, I'm a Spooky Bitch, and Dead Inside, which are all available on my website. Dead Inside is my personal favorite because it's definitely Halloween-y, but it also just kind of has that very funny, sarcastic implication. Once I'm done tracing the words, I attempt and fail several times to pick it up. You can see here I'm trying to be very careful as to not smudge the wet paint while I try to pick it up and put it somewhere safe to dry. Once my lettering is dry, it's time to color the back of the ornaments. I actually color the back of these ornaments with an acrylic paint pen. The Sharpie oil-based paint pens don't come in a lot of colors, and I find that the acrylic paint really does give a better, richer, more even coat. I just think it was an overall better outcome for the project. And you can see here, I just work in sections, being very careful not to smudge the crap out of it and end up covered in paint. But I'll speed up this next portion because this is like a very boring part of the process. Now, this last little part is where I actually have to be even more careful than normal. I have to carefully pick up the ornament and then just do this last little bit of painting right by the hole where I'm going to put my ribbon. I only mess up this like every couple ornaments, so I've got a pretty good record. And again, I'm just going to carefully move this ornament somewhere safe so it can safely dry without accidentally getting smudged. Once everything's dry, I put a little ribbon on it, and here she is, the completed project.